Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing gambling. And I've done another video contemporaneously with this one where we discuss whether marijuana or ganja could sort of save the Thai tourism sector. And unfortunately, the economic fallout from the response to COVID-19 has been tremendous. These lockdowns have had a devastating impact on the overall Thai economy, especially the SME sectors. It's also had a tremendously negative impact on the tourism sector generally, just across the board. And that represents, depending on what you read, but I think it's conservatively correct to say 17% of GDP came from tourism. And so the question on many folks' lips is, when are we going to see tourism return, and what do we need to do to sort of goose that return, to sort of get that to happen sooner rather than later? Now, marijuana, certain aspects of cannabis, and mostly and exclusively, to the best of my understanding of the law, it's been sort of decriminalized, legalized in a medicinal context. But there are many who believe that the fact that Thailand has this changed regime regarding marijuana versus many other jurisdictions in the region and in this part of the world, which have pretty harsh penalties associated with usage of that particular product, that kind of creates a comparative advantage for Thailand. And along that same vein, I've had people ask me, and we've discussed gambling in Thailand, especially legalization, in a few videos on this channel over time, and it is a good question. To be clear, gambling regulations really haven't changed much, at least in the number of years I've been here. There is some legal gambling in Thailand, things associated with horse racing, things associated under certain circumstances with Thai boxing. There are sort of ad hoc licenses that might be granted for a very short time period for like a party or something, or for some event. But for the most part, Thailand it very strictly regulates gaming in general. And a question that's come up on a lot of folks' minds is, would legalization of gambling attract new tourists? Would it attract tourists in? I think it stands to reason it probably would. Is it the end-all be-all savior of all tourism? No, I think getting tourism reopened, getting the country reopened for tourism would probably be the best way to get tourists back. But long story short, it may be something to think about. There are negative ramifications to gaming and gambling. I worked in the casino industry, going through law school and things. I am aware of both the upside and the downside to having a casino in a given location. It can be tremendously beneficial in certain ways. It certainly can bring in tax revenue, but it can have tremendous societal negative impact societally on societies that have legalized gambling. So it's something that you have to be really careful with. It would be interesting to see what would happen, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that we'll see legalized gambling anytime soon.